So on one night, the Los Angeles Lakers get dominated by the Clippers. And on the next night, the Clippers get dominated by none other than Zach Lavine. Let's talk about it. Before we get started, if you guys can do me a huge favor and drop a like on the video and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future Lakers and other sports content. You ever just think to yourself sometimes that no matter what you do, no matter what anyone says, sometimes the writing is just on the wall. It's there. And you're the only one that sees it. You ever think that? Because that definitely is happening to me right now. I'll be fair. The more content I made about Zach Lavine coming to the Lakers or the Lakers trying to trade for Zach Lavine, slowly but surely, more people started to come on board. They were listening to what I was saying. It started to make sense. And obviously, his play, as of late, has been proof of that. It helps the situation tremendously because he's showing essentially that he's not washed. He looks healthy and he looks, man, he looks incredible. He really does. So I don't know, man. Like I said in the beginning of the video, the Lakers lose to the Clippers bad. We had our stretches where we tried to claw back, but overall, you guys watched the game. It was a dominant performance on the Clippers' behalf. But man, you would think going up against the Bulls, and granted, the Bulls aren't necessarily a bad team. They're just not a very good team. I think the Clippers are a good team. You would think that the Clippers would have the upper hand. Like, yeah, this should be a W. But then they run into Zach Lavine. And let's take a look at how that panned out for him.
Bulls a little out of sorts here, but Lavine's underneath the rim. He gets bumped by...
It doesn't always work, especially if you have some good shooters.
Lavine...
25.
Lavine, a step back, triple. Loose the ball. Williams to Lavine. Wide open corner three.
To the point where you should hear his name, and especially if there is.
He can still do that! Lavine the step. Lavine weaves in the National League the last few years now. And there is tied with the Clippers in this quarter. Each have 12. Lavine is backing him out. Now drives it. Trying to get the 3 for 30. He's got there. It is Lavine with a fading fade.
Damn. Yo, he just makes it look too easy, bro. And right now, I am a Zach Lavine fan. Even if not wanting him on the Lakers, like I've always been a fan of Zach Lavine. I've expressed this before. We all knew him as someone who was super athletic. He made a name for himself in the dunk contest, but it's really been a joy watching him develop his game. That's something that I respect most about players, by the way. A player that really puts in the work, whether it's over the summer or you can see them grow throughout the season, but they really put in the work to grow and expand their game, to refine their skills. That's something that is always going to generate a great amount of respect from me. And Lavine has done that. We always saw that he had the potential. He was super athletic and, he kind of had, he was quickness, handle was kind of there, but his shot was inconsistent, blah, blah, blah. But we see him. He's in his prime and he's healthy. And we just see how easy he makes scoring look in today's NBA, bro. And the fact that we could have had him on the Lakers it's frustrating. I'm not going to lie. It is. And someone who is in my position, who is just constantly preaching this, like, yo, I'm telling you, this is the move. This is it. And unfortunately, it didn't come through. But is it still possible? Yes, it's still possible. But, we're talking like 97% improbable. You understand what I'm saying? The amount of salaries that we would have to stack in order to acquire Zach Lavine. And not to mention, at this point, in order to make a deal with the Bulls, a lot of the contracts that we would be stacking, or not a lot, but I would say too many of the contracts that we would have to stack, they're not expiring contracts. And that's primarily what the Bulls are looking for. Yes, they do want to get off of Zach Lavine, but at the same time, it's like, yo, we're not just going to get off of him. Like, look at how he's playing. He's playing tremendous basketball right now. Yeah, let's let him play it out. Now, to be fair, it does go against the Bulls if they continue to win games because, they're looking at that draft capital. You understand what I'm saying? So it is not in their favor to keep winning. But what are you going to do? They're not going to give Zach Lavine up for peanuts. And at the same time, it's his salary. That's the problem. It's not draft capital. It's not like they're asking for a bunch of picks. No, he's just making a ridiculous amount of money. And at this point, he is overpaid, but you can make an argument that he's worth it. You can. Nobody in the NBA is doing what he's doing right now. No one. This level of output at this level of efficiency is he pretty much stands alone at this point. For the month of January, he's averaging 30 points, 29.2, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, shooting 82% from the free throw line, 46% from 3, and 54% from the field. Yo, man, I mean, how much more of a sample size do you need? He's been healthy all season. He just gave you it's the 21st of January right now. And he was playing well heading into January. So he was putting up good numbers in December as well. How much more of a sample size do you need to accept that this man is emerging as one of the best 2 guards in the league? You know, you can say what you want about his quote unquote defensive efficiencies, but he's really not that bad on defense. If you look at his defensive rating, he's literally always either average or slightly above average. And I believe in the right system with the right incentive, aka contending for a championship, that will go up. That competitive edge, that competitive effort will go up. You will get that buy-in because he's never really been put in a position to compete for a championship. The best team that he's had was, when Nikola Vucevic and DeMar DeRozan. You could argue that, but even then, that wasn't really a good team. They just kind of threw some bodies together and kind of hoped it would work. It wasn't really a great team. Lonzo Ball got hurt. I mean, they had pieces. They definitely had pieces, but nobody looked at the team and said, yo, these dudes, they're going for a title. Like, no. They became a good team. Not a great team, though. Not a true championship contender, no. Put him on the Lakers. If we had did the deal like we should have, Rui, Gabe, D'Lo for Zach Lavine, Vandal's coming back healthy, we hope. Still had Bron, still had AD, still had AR. We make a move for a big. That would have been clutch, dude. It would have been so clutch. And I truly believe that would have been the best direction for the Lakers, not only for this year now, trying to compete for a championship, but in the future. Because when LeBron retires, you're still going to get at least, another, 3 to 5 years of high-level basketball from Zach Lavine. And you still have AD. Yeah, man, this is unfortunate. You love to see it for Zach Lavine. You know what I'm saying? It's always good in general for the NBA when good players are back healthy and they're playing good basketball. And as a Zach Lavine fan, I am happy for him because there were so many people, and a lot of you in the comments, so many people that wrote him off. And he bounced back. He bounced back, and you can tell he's proven the haters wrong. And he's playing the game that he loves to play, and he's playing it at a high level. So at this point, I wish him the best. If there's any way that we can feasibly acquire Zach Lavine at this point, just do it. Seriously, it's likely not going to happen with Rob Pelinka at the helm, but it just makes too much sense. It made all the sense in the world before we traded D'Lo. Now it makes a lot of sense still, but just doesn't make as much sense because we don't have D'Lo's contract, which sucks. But anyway, he's proven that he's back, and like I said before, I wish him the best. I hope he keeps thriving. And if there's any way that the Lakers can get him, man, I really, really hope that we can pull it off before that trade deadline, because that would literally be a game changer for us. It would be. I just felt like I had to make that video, man. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, go ahead and drop that like on the video. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for your support as always, and I'll catch you on the next video.